daughter says is some kind of creature the devil made.
That's Edomite right there. These are Mexicans, and they're definitely not black. They're not Hebrew Israelites. Alright, got that. And this is a Chinese woman. She also looks just as white as the white guy. Now, the reason I done that was to let you see how a lot of these people look that people are trying to sell Hebrew Israelites. So now I'm going to get right into the scriptures. I'm going to try to make this quick because it's actually very simple to know who the Hebrew Israelites are, who all the tribes are, and all that kind of stuff. Alright, first we're going to go to the whole breakdown as to where they come from. The 12 tribes came from Jacob. You can go to Genesis 28, 1 through 5 and see how it all started out. Jacob slept with Leah, Rachel, Zilpah, and Bilhah. Leah and Rachel was his cousins, and Zilpah and Bilhah were the Hebrew midwives. So all four women was black. Gad, black. So I don't know how you got Native Americans that look almost white with black hair, just straight like a goat, as Hebrew Israelites. Jacob also slept with Leah, and she had Judah and Issachar. So Judah and Issachar should look exactly the same because they both came from the same man and woman. So I don't know how you got white-looking Mexicans and you're claiming that they're Hebrew Israelites. Okay, that don't even line up. Rachel had Joseph and Benjamin, and Bilhah had Dan and Naphtali. So if a black man sleeps with 4 women and he has 12 sons, they're all going to be black. Now I'm going to go into the scriptures. Okay, and Genesis 28, I'm going to go there first. Because I shouldn't have to spend a whole lot of time on this, but I know we still got a lot of people that's just coming into the knowledge of all this stuff, and they're like, what you talking about, the 12 tribes and the children of Israel? Well, the black people are Hebrew Israelites. They are the Hebrew Israelites of today. All the 12 tribes of Israel that's talked about in the Bible were black people. They came from Jacob, who was black, and these 4 black women. Alright, 28. Let's see. Yeah, 28 starting at verse 1. And Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him and said unto him, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. Arise, go to Padan Aram to the house of Bethuel, thy mother's father. So he went to his mother's father and took a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother. So he took his wives from Laban, who was his mother's brother. That means that Laban was Jacob's uncle and that his wives would be his cousins. So you see how in the family that is? So you know they were black. Okay, and if you read on down, you read to verses 6 through 9, you're going to see what Esau did. Esau is the one that went and mixed with the other nations. That's why you got those people I showed at the beginning of this video, why they all look white. Because Esau mixed with the Moabites and Ammonites, who were also black. Okay, remember Lot was black, and his 2 daughters was black. And the Moabites and Ammonites came from Lot and his 2 daughters. Okay, I'll probably throw those scriptures up on the screen if I edit this video. This is real simple stuff. Most of us should know this stuff, but because the churches are not teaching this, here we are. Alright, so, but yeah, that's the reason why the Chinese and the Japanese look white today, because Esau went spreading his seed. When I say Esau, I don't mean Esau himself. I mean later on down the line, there was white men that went and mingled with Moabites and Ammonites. Because when a white man would sleep with a black woman, they would wind up having a baby to look like Bob Marley. You see what I'm saying? So they was like, this ain't gonna work because we're just making more of them. You know, we want to kill them off. We don't want to make more. So yeah, but yeah, they went to the Moabites and Ammonites because they was already a weak and inferior people too. So yeah. Now, so yeah, they kept it in the family. Now, Leah, she had Issachar, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, and Zebulun. Where it talks about Issachar, that's in Genesis chapter 30, verses 17 and 18. Reuben is in Genesis 29, verses 32 and 35. Talks about Zebulun in Genesis chapter 30, verses 19 through 20. And it talks about Joseph in chapter 30, verses 21 through 24. And Rachel had Joseph and Benjamin. Now the two handmaids, Zilpah and Bilhah, they were what the Bible calls Hebrew midwives. All right, I'm going to go into that right quick because I had somebody try to say, well, the tribe of Gad could look lighter skinned and different because they came from Zilpah, not Leah and Rachel. So they're trying to say that Zilpah wasn't black and Bilhah wasn't black because they was like slaves, because, they weren't the daughters of Laban, which I think that's a lie. I believe that Zilpah and Bilhah was also black because they've done work of Hebrew midwives, and Hebrew midwives were black. They were Hebrews, okay? Well, they done the work of midwives, but they're leaving out the fact that they was Hebrews. See, these were all black Hebrew women, Hebrew Israelite women. So Bilhah done the work of a midwife in Genesis chapter 30, starting at verse 3. And she said, Behold, my maid Bilhah, go in unto her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her. And she gave him Bilhah, her handmaid, to wife, because she was a midwife. And she conceived and bare Jacob a son. So Bilhah, and the same thing with Zilpah, and that's up there in verse 10, verse 9 and 10, where Leah gave Zilpah to Jacob to wife. So Zilpah done the work of a midwife. Now when you go to Exodus chapter 1, and starting at, let me get there right quick, Exodus 1 and 15. It says, And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, because those were the only midwives we used. We used Hebrew midwives. They had to be a black Hebrew Israelite woman, because you already saw where he told Jacob to only deal with his family. They was only supposed to have children from their line. See, they kept it all in the family, y'all. So Zilpah, Hebrew midwife, Leah, Hebrew wife, Rachel, Hebrew wife, and Bilhah is a Hebrew midwife. Bilhah is the midwife to Rachel, and Zilpah is the midwife to Leah. So between Leah and Jacob was Zilpah. Between Rachel and Jacob was Bilhah. So all four of these women are black. Jacob is black. He sleeps with 4 black women, and they have 12 black babies. 12 black baby boys. So how you get a light-skinned race from that? All right. That's real simple right there. Everybody's black so far. Now we're going to the curses. That's something else that people are completely ignoring and blowing over. All right. Now when you go to Deuteronomy, I'm going to the curses. That's right, because it was for all of Israel, not just the tribe of Judah. So when you go to Deuteronomy chapter 27, I'm going to go there. 27 verse 1. And Moses with the elders of Israel commanded the people. Now Deuteronomy chapter 27 verse 14. And the Levites shall speak and say unto all the men of Israel. So whatever's going on in the 27th all the way through the 29th chapter is for all of Israel. Chapter 29, Deuteronomy chapter 29 verse 1. These are the words of the covenant which Yahuwah commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel in the land of Moab, besides the covenant which he made with them in Horeb. Look at verse 2. And Moses called unto all Israel, not some of them, not just the tribe of Judah and Benjamin, all of Israel. So whatever these curses are, it's for all of Israel. Now, these curses is how we can tell who the Hebrew Israelites are today. Look at Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. That's forever. So even right now today, we should still see these same curses on the Hebrew Israelites. That's how we're going to know who they are. And it's talking about the curses because if you go up one verse to verse 45, it says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not to the voice of Yahuwah. So, and it says that these curses are going to be a sign. This is going to be a sign for us to know who the Hebrew Israelites are forever. All right. Now, y'all be quiet. All right. I'm telling them, calm down in there. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna go through the curses. So we already know that these 12 tribes, whoever comes from these 12 tribes, from any one of these, is going to be going through these curses. Now, here's one curse that I really like. It says, Yahuwah shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. That is verse 25. We're still in Deuteronomy chapter 28. So all these verses I'm reading is in chapter 28. Verse 25 says, removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. So what race of people do you know of that's living in a kingdom because they don't have their own kingdom? What race of people you know of that's right now today having to live in someone else's kingdom because they don't have their own kingdom? Okay, Mexicans got Mexico. So they have a kingdom. They have a place, y'all. So that don't fit. All right. These are supposed to be people that don't have a kingdom. Let me go on. We'll go to, let's see. So these Hebrew Israelites are people that don't have their own kingdom right now. All right. Verse 37. It says, and thou shalt become an astonishment and a proverb and a byword amongst all nations. All right. But whether Yahuwah shall lead. So this means no matter where these Hebrew Israelites go, they're going to be called a byword. Now, as far as I know, the only people that have that problem is black Negroes. No matter where we go, we're called nigger, niggas, Negros, nigera, okay? Coon, monkey, whatever, big lip, big nose. Indian, a so-called Native American Indian can go somewhere else and they won't call them no names. A Mexican can go somewhere else, they won't call them no names. But here in America, I think Mexicans, they use the term wetback, but that's only because they talk about how they crossed the Rio Grande. But that's only in America. You see what I'm saying? You see how the curses are starting to bring out who the Hebrew Israelites really are according to Scripture? All right. Let's go to verse 44. Verse 44 in this 28th chapter, it says, he shall lend unto thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. I'm going to stop right there on that one because it's real simple. What race of people you know right now today cannot lend money to no one to buy a house or a car or anything? They don't have their own banks and they don't have their own currency. Mexicans got banks, the peso, and they can lend money. Okay? Black Negroes, far as I know, are the only race of people that do not have their own currency. I mentioned this before, and I think in one of my other videos. The French got the French got the franc, the Russians got the ruble, the Japanese got the yen, the Americans got the dollar. You know, I mean, yeah, the Mexicans, they got the peso. What do we got? See what I'm saying? The curses, they're going to show you who Hebrew Israelites are. Now remember, we're supposed to be going through these curses right now. Okay, so let's look at verse 54. Because these are signs that's going to be on us forever, all the way to the end. Till the Most High come back and set everything straight. It says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, toward his wife and his children. I mean, it's just crazy. But The only people I know of that's that evil toward their own brother is black people. And I hate to be the one to say that, but it's true. I mean, I never heard the Choctaw Indians say, "What's up? I'm Choctaw, fool. What you?" And they like, "I'm Cherokee, dog." So Choctaw killing Cherokee. I never heard that. I don't hear that. Mexicans, I mean, I think they got like MS-13 and the Latin Kings. There might be some one or two more gangs out there. I'm talking about popular gangs, well known worldwide. Those are the only two I know of. Black Negroes, however, we got West Side Crips, Rolling 60 Crips, Bloods, Hoover Dukes, Vice Lords, Folks, and that's just the popular ones. Okay, a brother can just go into another neighborhood and get shot by another brother. A brother will kill another brother because he has on a different color. All right, that's the curses, showing you who the Hebrew Israelites are today. All right, here's another one. Let me try to get on through this. Verse 62 in this 28th chapter of Deuteronomy. It says, "And you shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of Yahweh thy God." Fewest, in some Bibles it says fewest. This one says, "And you should be left few in number." So, who is the few in number today? Who is the minority today in America? I always keep hearing people throw up these statistics, and they say, well, the black people are only 13% of the American population. And then on top of that is Mexicans or whatever, and different things like that. So in all of the nations, look for the people who are the fewest in number. There go your Hebrew Israelites. All right, you go over there to Europe, black people are the fewest in number. You go over there to China, black people are the fewest in number. Yeah, black people are the fewest in number just about everywhere. Okay, so, and here's what's going to put the icing on the cake. That's verse 68, all right? And it says in this 28th chapter of Deuteronomy, "And Yahuwah shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you, or no man shall save you." Now, because we got people saying, "Oh, blacks weren't the only people that were slaves. Blacks weren't the only people that was put on slave ships." Okay, well, what race of people currently, right now, today, still have not been saved and brought back to their own land and established their own government and have their own currency and have their own hospitals run by them and their own senate and their own schools, their own colleges, their own police stations, their own fire stations, their own sanitation workers, their own road crews and milling plants and mining plants that put down? What race of people don't have that, have not been saved yet? And no man shall buy you or save you or take you back. Who's still waiting to have their nation back, where they can be set up as a people and govern their own nation without having to pay taxes to somebody else? Black people. We're the only people that was brought over on stinking slave ships, made to work for nothing, and still have not yet got our own land back and are established as a people and paying taxes to our own people. We're the only people. Everyone else got a nation except us. The Chinese got China, Mexicans got Mexico, Indians got India. For those of y'all don't know, there's a lot of Indians still in India right now today. So the Hebrew Israelites are the people that's going through these curses. That's who the Hebrew Israelites are. And yes, I know about the prophecy, the future prophecy that's supposed to happen. And that's in Genesis chapter 49, verses 1 through 28. But you want to remember Amos chapter 9, verse 7. I don't know why everybody want to try to ignore that one. I need to write that one on the board. Let me write it. Amos chapter 9, verse 7. It clearly tells you Matter of fact, let me go to it. I'm gonna read it straight out the Bible. I'm gonna shoot it to you straight. I ain't even gonna try to paraphrase or add to it. I'm gonna just read it out this Bible. And yeah, you're gonna be sitting there, and hopefully you'll think about this. Amos, I almost got it. 9 and 7. Are ye not as the children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel, saith Yahuwah? These are people that are like Ethiopians, according to Amos 9 and 7. They got brown skin like Ethiopians, and they got hair like Ethiopians. Is my fro looking good for you? Okay? So, clearly the 12 tribes, all of them are black, and they are like Ethiopians. Hope this video helped you to see who the Hebrew Israelites are right now today. May Yahuwah bless you and help you to understand what you got to do to get ready for what's coming. Bless you in the name of Yahuwah. I'm out.